Hey everybody, it's Mattie here with Altcoin Buzz. Hope you're having a very pleasant Monday and a terrific start to your week so far. We may have somewhat of a shorter video today. We're only really looking at two major stories, one of which is by way of Luke, and he's talking about Vitalik Buterin's claims that he is no longer leaving Ethereum. There was some chatter. You know how the rumor mill works here in the crypto space, but we'll get to the bottom of that. We're also going to take a look at a couple of tweets by way of Altcoin Buzz, but let's begin here with this article by Lysia. Russia, quote, does not exclude launching own crypto, so its own cryptocurrency. The chairman of Russia's State Duma Committee on Financial Markets, Anatoly Aksakov, has made a curious statement. In an interview with the radio news station Govorit Moskva, he pointed out that he does not rule out a potential launch of a state-backed cryptocurrency. And he was quoted as saying, "I am positive that eventually a cryptocurrency will emerge. However, it will be a backed one. Once a certain amount of money is deposited into a certain bank, it issues a corresponding amount of crypto tools." I don't know if that's exactly the idea of a cryptocurrency, that it's backed by a bank. And he also added that it's supposed to be backed by the Russian ruble 1-to-1. So it sounds like this is similar to what's happening in Venezuela with the petro, but that's already been met with a lot of criticism, as many of you out there know. He was also quoted as saying that the world of crypto and blockchain is, quote, very promising. There's been all kinds of other talk. Back in June, you may recall, we covered the fact that the first deputy of the Federal Council Economic Policy Committee, Sergei Kalishnikov, made it clear, as Lysia writes, that Russia is willing to allow cryptocurrency and blockchain, but only if they have jurisdiction over it and they have a certain authority over that particular endeavor. You can also read about the Ministry of Finance and their representative Alexei Moiseev, who also said that Russia might introduce cryptocurrency on its own exchange market. So back to Mr. Aksakov, he said that, quote, crypto popularity is slumping, and I believe that their future is numismatic and miserable. Most likely, they will be off the market. So it's certainly not outside the realm of possibility. You may recall, not so much anymore, but there was a time when you heard these rumblings of a Fed coin to be issued by the US Federal Reserve. I wouldn't be surprised. You already have countries, as I mentioned already, like Venezuela. I wouldn't be surprised if other countries that are interested in crypto, in blockchain, in all things digital, like China, like Russia, of course, if they step up to the plate and perhaps beat out the US in some official form of cryptocurrency, it's certainly possible. So let us know your thoughts about this in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspectives. If you've not read about these previous publications on the issue, here's another article by Lysia. Russian central bank will control the crypto market, a top official confirms. That's back from June. You also have this article from June. Russia might introduce cryptocurrency on its exchange market. Let us know what you think about that particular issue. And in this article by Luke, Vitalik Buterin claims he isn't leaving Ethereum, contrary to some of the claims that have been floating around out there recently. An article from MIT Technology Review published last Thursday shocked the crypto community with the headline, quote, Ethereum founder Vitalik Buterin says his creation can't succeed unless he takes a step back. Soon, many news websites reported that Buterin was going to leave the Ethereum project. Not true, according to the man himself. So let's take a look at this particular publication from the MIT Massachusetts Institute of Technology, their technology review piece. There's good old Vitalik himself. Ethereum founder Vitalik Buterin says his creation can't succeed unless he takes a step back. At Ethereum's annual developer conference, its founder tells us why his technology can only be truly decentralized if it stops depending on him. I can already tell by that sub-headline that they've twisted this into a sensational article. It's this is the problem with journalism today, guys. Everybody tries to sensationalize everything. Just because Ethereum should not depend on him exclusively, in no way meant to suggest that he's backing off or leaving the project. So, let's delve deeper into this, but my spider sense is tingling here, and I'm starting to feel pretty embarrassed for MIT Technology Review. Let's go to Luke for the facts. An interesting interview between Ethereum creator Vitalik Buterin and the MIT Technology Review at the Ethereum DevCon 4 conference was used to create quite a stir in the market this week. After the interview, the MIT Technology Review published that article, which we just saw. In the interview, Buterin shares his view that Ethereum can only be truly decentralized if it stops depending on him, something that Buterin already stated many times before. The article from the MIT Technology Review, however, implicated that Buterin was about to step down soon. That is so false and so intentionally misleading that, honestly, I'm not the kind of person that calls for boycotts or whatever, but I hope somebody lost their job over that. That is so intentionally deceitful on the part of a journalist. That's the first thing you learn. Not that I am a journalist, but in journalism school, it's important to uphold a certain standard of ethics, and they just completely let that fall by the wayside. Shortly after the article got published, Bitcoin price analyst Tone Vays accused Buterin of, quote, getting ready to pull a Dan Larimer. With the remark, Vays refers to the fact that Dan Larimer, the creator of BitShares, Steemit, and EOS, has been criticized many times for easily leaving projects behind and moving on to different venues. Let's take a look at that particular tweet. Looks like Vitalik Buterin is getting ready to pull a Dan Larimer. Exited. People continue to not understand what a decentralized blockchain is and why Bitcoin does not compete with nonsense like Ethereum or EOS. It competes with USD, Euro, and gold. But in the battlefield that is Twitter, you got a very quick, a very immediate response from Mr. Vitalik himself, and this is what he had to say. Number one, I am not leaving. No plans to stop or reduce blog posts, Ether search posts, GitHub commits. Number two, Vitalik is, quote, in charge. Ethereum is centralized. Vitalik is not in charge. Vitalik is pulling a Dan Larimer. So what he's suggesting there is that it's so black and white with you, Tone Vays. It's one or the other. You have no capacity for nuance. This is why BTC maximalists have zero credibility. Okay, so a bit of an exchange there, a bit of a little scuffle, no doubt about it. From there, Vays followed up by asking Buterin if he is saying the headline and subheadlines in the article are inaccurate, and Buterin responded, this is MSM, mainstream media we're talking about. So yes, it goes without saying that yes, it's inaccurate. You guys can read further about the Twitter exchange there, but as Luke points out, it seems that MIT's article has been a bit misleading with these headlines and that Buterin will not be, quote, stepping back from Ethereum, not now at least. Buterin has spoken about detaching himself from the Ethereum project before. As recently as last month, he suggested that it was, quote, already in progress. Vitalik is still actively involved in Ethereum development, although he is deliberately attempting to reduce his prominence. And I think that's a good idea. There's no project that should be based entirely on the power or the influence of one individual. It should stand on its tech. It should stand on the network and the community. Clearly, it is not healthy for the fate of an entire platform, exactly, Luke, my thoughts exactly, to rest in the hands of one person. So you guys can catch up with the tweets here. We will post them below. A little bit of Twitter drama as usual. You know, as of late, I got to say Ethereum has been doing pretty well, and you should check out Kunal's latest video, by the way, talking about whether a $1,000 Ethereum is still a possibility, not only this coming year, I suppose 2019, but in the distant future. He does a good job of perhaps defending why that may be the case with some well-researched, well-quantified points. But Ethereum, it looks like, is coming back into vogue. I've been using that term lately, and it seems like it's becoming a little bit more fashionable again. If you guys want to check out the original article here, the very misleading article on MIT Technology Review, part of the mainstream media, so I agree with Vitalik there. You guys can check it out. We're going to link to it below, but quite dishonest in my personal opinion. Let us know your thoughts on the issue below. This is alluding to that particular video I just mentioned. Will Ethereum be above $1,000? Again, check out our analysis here. We're going to link to this in the description below. You can check it out, but a fine piece of work by Kunal. And we invite you guys to check this out, to share your comments on the issue, and give us your opinion, whether you agree or disagree. It's always interesting to hear your thoughts. Finally, guys, if you've not checked out our latest video on Engine, ask yourself, are you a gamer or a game developer? Check out this video. Engine's COO, Lilia Pritchard, talks about Unity partnership, Engine Wallet, Game Multiverse, the origin of Engine, their team, challenges, and of course, her top 5 games. So if that's something that interests you, check out this link. We're also going to include that in the description below for a great one-on-one interview exclusively on Altcoin Buzz. So check out the interview if any one of those tags defines you in one sense, one capacity or another. This is a great piece. We encourage you to check it out. Let us know, as always, your thoughts, your comments below. And with that, members of the Altcoin Buzz Army, do be sure you're following us on Twitter, Altcoin Buzz and Altcoin Buzz News. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Telegram. Check out our last video here. Check out our website. And if you choose to invest on this Monday, folks, I wish you the very best of luck. Have a wonderful start to your week. We'll see you again soon in a new video. Take care.